Well, welcome. I hope you are all having a fantastic day, and I'm really thrilled that you chose to spend some of it here with us. I always strive to give you some really great content, some interesting stuff, and today is no different. You are going to be glad you tuned in because we're going to be talking with Dr. Gerald Robison about negotiating with time, how 30 seconds can change everything. So go grab your laptop, your iPad, your pad and pen, whatever you use to take down tips because you're going to want to. So welcome, Gerald. It's so great to have you here with us.
Well, thank you, Cindy. What a delight to be with you and your audience.
I've even got my pad and paper beside me to take notes here. So we got, and for those of you who may not know him, Dr. Robison is an author, a cancer survivor, a speaker, self-proclaimed accidental comedian. He brings such humor to the table. And he learned firsthand the urgency and preciousness of time. And as we get older, I can speak for myself, it just seems to move faster and faster. And for Dr. Robison, after being diagnosed with tongue cancer and undergoing multiple transplants, he believed his days were numbered. And that experience forced him to rethink everything that he knew about productivity, about purpose, and those small moments that we all waste every day. And his book, 30 Seconds That Can Change Your Life, shows how the micro moments, 30 seconds at a time, can transform your efficiency, your health, your relationships, and perhaps most importantly, your mindset, because that's the start of it all. And we're going to explore today how that philosophy intersects so beautifully with the art of feminine negotiation. So, Gerald, your story is pretty extraordinary, from the tongue cancer to arm to tongue transplant, which I'd never heard of, to becoming a sought after expert on time. How did that journey, your personal journey, lead you to write 30 seconds that can change your life?
Well, I've been a public speaker all my life, and time was always precious, but I always had lots of it. And so it wasn't a commodity in short supply. I had plenty of time until the doctor told me I had tongue cancer and it had to come out. And I said, well, wait, what has to come out? He said, well, the cancer. I said, well, good. I thought you meant my tongue.
Yeah.
He said, well, that's where it is. So part of that has to come out.
Right.
And I thought, well, I'll be able to talk.
Yeah.
And after the surgery, he said, well, you were in for a good surprise. We had some tongue material and we were able to graft that on. If this is your tongue and we remove that part, this part is an open wound.
Yeah.
And we were able to take some tongue material and place over that. And it's just like a living Band-Aid. It's only meant to be there for a short while and it will fall off. You will either swallow it or you will spit it out. And I thought, ooh, hopefully I get to spit it out. And, anyway, he said, I asked him, I said, you mentioned tongue material. I've never heard of that. What is tongue material and where do you get it? He said, well, tongue material is tongue material. I said, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where do you get tongue material? He said, well, we got it from a cadaver. I thought, oh, gross. You mean he said yes, and he wasn't using it anymore. Well, things were fine. I had to be going to talk, I had to be going to
Oh,
eat.
I bet.
And then some years later, I was told the tongue cancer is back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so they removed part again. And that time they took part of my arm and they made half a tongue and put that in.
Yeah.
So I've been teaching my arm to speak. If I tell you a secret and go like this, you'll know why. Speak to the arm, speak to the arm. No, they really did do that.
Yeah.
And then they had to remove some a third time.
Yeah.
So all of that made me think, how much time do I have left? And I really did think that my time was very limited. And that made me rethink every concept I had about time.
Yeah. Well, God, our human bodies are just miraculous. So, what were some of your shifts with your relationship with time, maybe with urgency, with purpose?
Urgency is what came to the forefront. There was a date that I thought that's the date, that's the end of my time. And so my wife asked me one year, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I want a watch that counts down from that date to
Wow.
now, so that I always know how much time I have left. And
Right.
she says, that sounds so morbid.
I'm with your wife.
And I said, no, no. I said, it's teaching me to redeem my time, to use it wisely. This is how much I have left, and tomorrow will be one day less. Did I use yesterday
Yeah.
as efficiently and as effectively as I could
Yeah.
so that I get more done in the time I have?
Well, and I want to just take a pause for a moment. And for our listeners, I want you to just take a moment and really breathe that in because we often talk about, oh, maximizing every day. This could be our last day or whatever. And yet we pay lip service because we still run around spending all our time in a to-do frenzy chasing our tails. And so many of us don't actually live into our purpose. And I want to talk, obviously, our listeners can tell already, you got a fabulous sense of humor. And you bring that into even the hardest parts of your story. So, how does humor help you connect not only with your audiences, but with yourself?
Well, it makes the tough times not so bitter.
Hmm.
I love being able to smile, and I love helping other people to achieve that same thing.
Yeah.
The sense of humor, I believe, really is a bit of medicine.
Yeah.
And the sense of humor, mine's a little bit, I'm what they call a half bubble off. I have the odd sense of humor. I think it eases into tough conversations. You see, if I just started talking with you about tongue cancer, the pain, the radiation treatments, and all that,
Yeah.
it's just gory. But if we can laugh a bit about it, it eases that difficult,
Yeah.
awkward moment.
Well, and it's such a powerful tool because as you're saying that, it's perfect when you're having awkward moments, right? I mean, we tend to be a death phobic society. We don't talk well about death or about medical issues, right? When you said about swallowing the tongue thing, I was like, whoa. But it eases those awkward moments. But also, and for our listeners, if you're having a difficult conversation with somebody, challenging, whether in your personal life or in business, I have seen some of the most challenging negotiations that were going way off track be brought back because of humor. So hats off to you for doing that. And I wanted to circle back, Gerald, because I think so many of us complain that there's too much to do and too little time. Why is time one of the biggest negotiations that we face, do you think?
All time is eternal, but you and I in this body are not.
Yeah.
It, it is limited, and none of us know just how limited it is. When a doctor gives you a date out there and you think, okay, all things working well, I will live until then,
Yeah.
it makes you it makes you evaluate
Yeah.
everything in your life. What is of value? What is not? You begin to learn to say no
Yes.
to some things and to some people.
Yeah.
And without that, you're kind of everywhere in your
Yeah.
mind, in your thoughts, in your calendar, and it's hard to achieve everything
Yeah.
when you could be achieving something.
Yeah.
A guy that mentored me said, "Don't be busy doing
Yeah.
what somebody else could do when you could be busy doing what only you
Mhm.
can do."
Oh, I like that.
So when my time was limited, I had to decide what things can I be the only one who does. I
Yeah.
better focus on that. I'm the only one who can be the husband to my wife. I'm
Yeah.
the only one who can be the father to my children. I need to focus on that. I'm the only one that can write this book. I need to focus on that. I'm the only one who can do this or that. Some things that someone else can do, I can delegate it. And I can say, okay, I don't have time for that. I want you to take care of this.
Yeah.
And I have a good mind for a lot of things. Health is not necessarily one of them.
Yeah.
So when it comes to doctors, doctor reports, filling out the bills, the insurance, I go to my wife and I say, honey,
Yeah.
that is your ballpark. You can handle that so much better than I can. I want to shift this to you. And it helps her because it gives her a specific that she can do. She wants to do things for me. I want to do things for her.
Yeah.
When you begin to evaluate, I've only got so much time. I better shift this to somebody who's better at it
Yeah.
so I can focus on what only I can do.
That is such a powerful show. I have never heard it framed that way before. About, I mean, and I've done so many of it, seminars and workshops and educationals on this. Heck, I've taught them, but I've never heard it framed about what's something that only I can do, like only be a partner to my intimate partner, only the only mother to my kids. And so that's a beautiful reframe. And that only book the book that only I can tell, to be able to reframe it. I love that. And also, as you were saying that, it struck me. I remember some time ago when I heard about that, sort of automate, delegate, eliminate. And that was a powerful shift for me as well. And that's what I hear you saying. And for our listeners, pay attention to those things that you're spending a lot of time on that don't serve you at all, frankly, and find those things that you can just eliminate. Find those things that, as Gerald was saying, that you can delegate to other people who are better served to be able to do it. And in today's society, there are a lot of things that you can set up automated. So I love that. So I want to dig deeper into this, Gerald. And let's start with, what are some of the biggest time lies, for want of a better term, that people tell themselves that end up sabotaging our productivity and frankly our peace?
I think the biggest lie that we listen to, we tell to ourselves
Yeah,
that I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that is number one. And
yeah,
number two is that takes too much time.
yeah.
You will find I got a stopwatch and I measured, I timed. How long does it take me to get downstairs? How long does it take me to get to the mailbox? How long does it take me to get from the garage to the shed in the backyard?
Yeah.
And the truth is, it boils down to an average of about 30 seconds. And that's where the title from the book came from.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
began to I began to put blocks of time of 30 seconds at a moment
Yeah.
and of what I could get done. Now, there's a tremendous number of things you cannot get done in 30 seconds,
Yeah.
but you might in 60, which is only two blocks
Yeah.
of 30 seconds each. Isn't that the time of a commercial? Well, not now. Now it's 3 minutes and
Yeah.
5 minutes.
That's sadly true.
Now that we paid to watch TV and
Yeah.
pay
How
it was
ridiculous.
movies. Well, I found that I would always sit in my chair and I look at my wife and say, "Isn't this the fifth time we've heard this commercial in this same TV show?"
Yeah.
Yes. Why did I listen to it more than once?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why get up and do something for 30 seconds or do two things 30 seconds each or one thing in two 30-second blocks? And most of us think there's nothing significant you can do in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And the truth is, yes, there is. At the end of every chapter in my book, I list 30 things you can do in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I break up your household.
Yeah.
30 things you can do in 30 seconds in your bedroom.
Yeah.
30 things you can do in your closet. 30 things you can do in your pantry, in your kitchen, in your garage, in your car while you wait for your husband or wife to come out from Walmart, you know?
Now,
You
you
wait.
emphasize that the time we want is usually already available, that we just don't see it. So, is that what you're talking about? It's these
Yes,
moments in time that,
yes.
well, it's funny when you said about don't have time, because I was at an event this last weekend and my daughter and I had created this purpose planner about how to live into your life more purposefully rather than just to-do agendas. And so I'd had a couple of people who picked it up and go, "Oh, this is lovely, but I don't have time to do
Hey,
it." I'm like, "That's exactly why you need it." So funny. Now,
if we could evaluate just how much time we waste by watching the same commercial, by
yeah.
sitting there twiddling our thumbs, by waiting for the clock to tick down, there are innumerable things that you could do on your to-do list or partially do it and get that taken off your list.
Now, can you give us some examples of that, Gerald? Just, I mean, I know in your book you've got significant sort of blocks of that for us, but just some teasers for our listeners here. What are some of the kinds, so that they can start thinking themselves as well about
Okay,
notes?
well, as I mentioned, one taking your kitchen pantry. When when that commercial comes on, I'm hearing for the sixth time. comes on, I think I need to do something. I can get up and go get me a snack. Okay, I'm at the pantry already. Why don't I organize the shelf that those cookies are on?
Yeah.
It's amazing how short a time is
Yeah.
required to do what you want. I mean, we don't think of it. We think, oh no, I gotta organize the pantry
Yeah.
or this shelf. Somebody ought to do that. And it's never, but I've got 30 seconds that I will just waste. I don't do
Yeah.
anything with it. And so why not do something of significance? One thing I found that really helps is to be organized. And that's something that's a word a lot of people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Be organized.
Yeah.
Well, I try to explain it this way. When you go to the doctor and you say, I think I want you to check my heart, and he begins looking at your foot, you been to doctors, okay? Why? Because your organs are organized. Your heart is about in the same place as it is in everybody else. Your lungs are organized. They're in about the same place as they are in everybody else. Well, why not think about organizing, putting things into an organized way in your closet?
Yeah.
You know, today they make plastic hangers, but they make them in red, white, blue, green.
Yeah.
There's a rainbow of colors for hangers. Why not put your winter wear on green hangers, your spring wear on white hangers? Why not put your pants on this kind
Yeah.
and over here? I don't do it because I'm organized in my mind, but I can go into my closet. I know exactly where my shirts
Yeah.
are,
That's
where my
smart.
white shirts are, where my logo shirts are, where
Yeah.
my pants are, where my jeans are. I can find anything in my nightstand because I know where it is.
And you save a lot of time doing that rather than scrambling around. What should I wear today? Looking around at a
Right.
disorganized closet.
And where did I put this? Where did I
Yeah.
put that? And see, I don't consciously do it, but I love my wife and I observe her actions. I know her habits. And by doing that, I have an organized plan in
Yeah.
my mind as to how she lives her life.
Yeah.
When she's missing her car keys, I can tell her in the bowl beside the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
There they are. Why? Because while she may not recognize it, I know how she has organized her
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And organization, some people will say, well, that just takes too much time. Do it 30 seconds at a time.
Yeah. And the other beauty about that, Gerald, as you're saying it, like even about the pantry, right? When you've got if you're going there for the cookies, then take that time to organize the pantry. And it also, not only does it declutter that space and make it more organized, which saves you time in the long run, but I don't know about you, but I find for me, it declutters my mind because at the back of my mind is that, oh, I got to get that pantry done. And we kind of dread it and it takes up space. And when you're doing it, as you say, just in those incremental little bits of time that otherwise would be wasted, it frees up space in your mind to concentrate on the stuff that really matters. I love that.
It really, really does. And doing all this, I've learned that there are some things you can do with time, and there are some things you cannot do with time. We like to say, here's a time saver. No, it's not. It might make a bit of time, a compact, organized section of time, more organized or more efficient, more speedy, but you did not save time.
Hmm.
Nobody gets a bucket of time that they get to carry over to tomorrow
Yeah.
because you saved time today.
Yeah.
You have the same amount of time every day, and it streams past you like a flowing stream, never to return. You either
Hmm.
use this moment or it passes by forever. You cannot make it up.
Yeah. That's
My,
beautiful.
my encouragement is use the time while it's there, even those small little bits, because they add up.
And you gave an image in your book that I thought was beautiful. I think you wrote that precious bits of time, and I apologize if I bastardize it, but lie around us like a backyard sprinkled with diamonds, which I
That's
just
right.
thought was so great. So what are, and you've given us a couple, like these things you're talking about, what are these kinds of diamonds that people are overlooking every day?
Well, I would say you have to become self-observant. You'll find that time while you're sitting at the breakfast table. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Some of us just sit there and we go off into dream world, but really nothing of significance.
Yeah.
Why not use the time while you eat your cereal? Why not use the time after your cereal while you're cleaning up? Even organize your dishwasher.
Yeah.
Now, my wife and I, we are at opposite ends of the spectrum. I can tell when somebody else loads our dishwasher.
Oh, yes. It's so true. Same.
And it's not just because it looks pretty when I'm done with it. All these plates are together and all those bowls are together. But rather, when it comes time to unload the dishwasher, I can pick up all the plates with one hand.
Yeah.
I can use two hands to scoop up all the bowls in one motion. I'm saving time that I could use more effectively, more efficiently.
Nice. I hadn't thought of that before. I organize it so that you can fit more in, but you're right. If you group them in certain ways, you can grab all of those cups in one trip instead of back and forth and back and forth.
And you do save time because if they are all loaded in an organized fashion, you know where things are.
Yeah.
And you will formulate in your mind a habit.
Yeah.
Here's how I unload those bowls. Here
Yeah.
how I do those dishes or those glasses. These are the ones that collect water at the end of the
Yeah.
cycle. Organization is not something to be feared. It's to be used
Yeah.
effectively.
And
And
it,
your, and your time, that little quote was just as if your yard was scattered with little precious diamonds. And if you were poor, you go out and you pick one up.
yeah.
So is your life scattered with precious moments. If you need time, you just go pick them up.
Yeah.
It's not that you need to find time. You need to find the times that you are doing
Yeah.
nothing,
That's so
and
great.
they are plentiful.
Now, can you share a few, and you've given us a couple of examples, but maybe some examples of tasks that, people can complete in 30 seconds, but that create an oversized or an outsized impact, right? So small time tasks with a big output at the end.
Often a big output, it is hard because typically 30 seconds doesn't achieve a big thing. It achieves the little things that take up your time. I want you to imagine being out on a sweltering hot summer day and you're trying to do something on the wall, maybe work on a downspout, and these little mosquitoes and gnats are
Yeah.
flying around, and you're trying to hold something while you swat at flies or mosquitoes or gnats, and you're thinking, I wish something could just get rid of those. These little tasks that you can do in 30 seconds are the mosquitoes of your life.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Swat swat them, kill them, find those unused moments of life to get rid of those things that nag you. There are times I would be up here in my office, I would hear the mail come, and I would think, oh, I better go out and see if this or that has arrived today. And I think, well, I have to go down the stairs, through the hallway, out the front door, across the yard to get to the mailbox, and then make my way back.
yeah.
I got that stopwatch. I
Yeah.
timed it. It was 30 seconds from my office desk
Yeah.
to the mailbox. And I think that is what caused me to wake up.
Yeah.
To wake up to say, I have lied to myself, telling myself there are some tasks that take too long, therefore I
Yeah.
procrastinate, I put them off, I'll do it later because I don't have time.
Yeah.
But I could have done it in 30 seconds.
You've got
And
great analogies, by the way, Gerald. Like the mosquito one, that's
yes.
powerful, right? Because I like, and again, not only does it, when you think of it that way, it reinforces about how this also frees up our minds, right? So, because we're not annoyed or having it take up space or being frustrated by it. It's just, it's beautiful. Now, I wonder if you have, like, I know you list categories in your book as well, like things that you can do while you're, and you've listed some, waiting in the car, or during TV commercials, with the, in the office or in the garage. Do you have any favorites for busy people? What are some of your favorite ones?
Well, to be honest, my favorite ones are finding where I'm wasting my time,
Yeah.
not what it is I do with my wasted time.
Okay.
Finding that wasted time, when you sit there and you say, this is the fifth time we've seen that commercial.
Yeah.
Well, by golly, by the time I think the word fifth time, I better be
Yeah.
up out of my seat and going to do something.
Yeah. And I wanted to take a pause for a moment because that just really resonated with me. And for our listeners, quit focusing so much on, because what people do with the recaptured time, it's going to be different for everybody.
That's
So
right.
focus on where are you wasting time? Where is there time sitting there that you could be better using in your life? Maybe do a little inventory of it. I challenge you, when you leave this podcast today, to pay attention over the next 24 hours about little slots where you could fit something else in and make it matter, have it be something for you. So I love that. That was a beautiful perspective shift for me. And I know you teach the Eisenhower Matrix to help people make their lives more efficient. Well, what is that? I'd never heard of it, to be honest. And I suspect some of our listeners haven't. And how does it help us, negotiate priorities or negotiate some boundaries?
Right. Well, for those that General Eisenhower is only a historical figure, let me say he led the Allied forces. He was the head guy of all the armies that were fighting in World War II on the Allies' side. He had so much responsibility, so many tasks to do, but he handled it well. And eventually, I believe that characteristic in his life was part of what made people elect him as a president
Yeah.
after the war. Well, how did he use his time? He had what came to be called the Eisenhower Matrix. And a matrix is just four little categories. Imagine two blocks sitting on top of each other, one on top of the
Yeah.
other, and four of those. Okay. Now, he says, organize your life like this. There are things that you have to do. You have to do it. Put that in this box. There are things that have to be done, probably by you, but it's not necessary at this moment.
Okay.
Put that in the second box. There are things that have to be done, but not necessarily by you, but you're going to be responsible. Delegate those to somebody
Yeah.
else. And there are things that people think have to be done, but they don't.
Yeah.
So there are things to say yes to right now. There are things to say yes to for later. There are things to say yes to get somebody else to do.
Nice.
And there are things you say no to.
Yeah.
And those are the four categories. If you will put your today's calendar, your events, whatever it is on your agenda, and say, where does that fit
Yeah.
in my four blocks? To help you organize your life like that is
Yeah.
a great relief. Yesterday, I had to get illustrations back from one of the guys illustrating a new book for me. And I also had to get editing done on another new book. And nobody else can edit those.
Yeah.
Well, I have to give my okay on it.
Yeah.
I found that my 15-year-old granddaughter can do that better than I can. And she has a lot more time and
Yeah.
less responsibility than I have. So I tell her, I'll pay you $20 to edit these for me. I
Yeah.
need today. She'll say, sure, I
That's a
love
great win-win.
it. So it was a yes for me. I have to do it, but I can delegate it to
Yeah.
someone who does it better. And yet I had to get it done. At the same time, they were missing an illustration I had to go find and then bring that back.
Sure.
Nobody could do that but
Yeah.
me.
So
So
what do you find, Gerald, is the biggest mistake that people make in distinguishing, like as we're talking about these blocks and boxes, between urgent, versus important, for example? What are some of the mistakes you see around that?
I would say ask yourself the question, if it's not done, how big is the disastrous results from that?
Yeah.
And quite often, it's not as big a disaster as we thought. We could not do it or we could postpone it. And it may not be what we wanted to do and how we wanted to live our life today. But by doing that, you have used today more effectively and tomorrow more efficiently.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. And I didn't realize you've got, so we're going to have to get you back too. It sounds like you've got books coming out the wazoo, Gerald. So I mean, that's from all those 30 seconds you're saving, I gather too, which is pretty. Now, you had mentioned, and I want to make sure before we have to wind up that we touch on it. You talked about there are things that you can do with time and things that you can't. Can you give us a couple of examples of those? You sort of explained that concept to us, but are there, quick, maybe a
So,
couple of things that you can do versus things you can't?
okay, sure. I don't know if you have a Sonic drive-in restaurant where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic is a chain like Burger King and
Sure.
McDonald's. And when they first came out, they had a 1950s atmosphere or ambiance, and they had girls on roller skates who would skate out to your car to deliver your meal. And that was a time saver. No, you can't save time. It made the delivery more efficient.
Yeah.
But when she got back inside, where's the time she saved?
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't save time. You can't buy time.
Gotcha.
You can procrastinate and so forth.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can use it or you can lose it.
Yeah.
Out of all the little sayings I've
Yeah.
got, it boils down to that.
That's
During
awesome.
this commercial, what are you going to do? Is it going to affect your life, or are you just sitting there breathing air, waiting for something to happen on your TV? Why not
Yeah.
use?
Yeah. So
Uh,
beautiful. And I was going to ask you, like, because I suspect that a lot of our listeners feel exhausted from kind of chronic busyness, right? And I was going to ask you about what's sort of the first 30-second step towards that piece, but I'm guessing from listening to you that the answer is that'll depend on them, right? Where are they wasting those 30 seconds? Is that?
That's where are they wasting it? Why are they wasting it? And how much of it can be reused or relabeled for use with something of more
Yeah.
significance? To do that, you're going to have to negotiate. Here's your word. You're going
Yeah.
to negotiate with yourself.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Is the payoff of me getting up out of my chair, using that 30 seconds, 1 minute, or 3 minutes for this more valuable than just sitting here, breathing, waiting for the commercial to be over? Negotiate with your life. How much of what I do today is of value for the rest of my life? Negotiate with time. You've only got so much. Everybody has the same amount in the day, but we don't know how many days we have.
Uh, I'm not, you know what? That is like the perfect ending to this. I'm not even going to dare ask another question. That was such a gorgeous summary. So, where can people learn more about you?
I've got a brand new website, Gerald Robison, Robison. People like to put an extra N in there.
Yeah.
It's not Robinson, it's Robison. Uh-oh. My wife says Rob is on.
Oh, I like it. That's
Rob is on. Gerald, Gerald, GeraldRobison.com.
okay. And we'll make sure to put that in the show notes as well as a list of Gerald's books so you can go checking those out. And Gerald, do stay in touch as your new books come out. Happy to have you, but you have just a beautiful way of taking issues that sort of befuddle most people and making them so simple and manageable and obvious. So thank you for sharing them with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's been a delight being here with you.
Oh, likewise. And for our listeners, thank you first for spending time with us. And make sure to share this episode with people in your life as well. I mean, my gosh, we always are clamoring about how we don't have time, we don't have time. And you've just been given the gift of some really simple shifts and practices in how you think about time and how you choose to spend your time that can make the world of difference for you and for people in your life. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to share it with other people whose heart might need this too. And when you're ready to rise into your next chapter, whether gently or boldly, I'm here. You can find coaching, community, and courses waiting for you at artoffemininenegotiation.com. So until next time, remember, Every moment invites a renegotiation. Choose compassion, choose courage, choose you. Until next time, take care.